My apologies. We are just gonna here. Okay, we're just gonna get started right now. This is the first ever that we have a tech issue like this, and stuff like this happens. It's like just because we have an open house today, our service provider decided to have tech issues. What can you do? And also needed to wait a few minutes for everyone else to make their way to this GoToWebinar. But I trust everybody's here, and we're just going to get started. So what we do in here, if you're new to the nightly game plan, is review any open positions, talk about the watch list, and then come up with kind of a game plan for tomorrow. Before I start, I will go ahead and take a look at the cues. I discuss the market every day in the Black Room, and the market, as you can see, the market had the mini crash. We retraced 100%, then dropped a little bit, and now we're trying to go back up. I think, I could be wrong, of course, this was kind of a short-term top, maybe medium-term top, and we are going to stay in a sideways trend. So sideways trends are not the best for swing trading, but that's what I think is happening. So I want to try and focus on things, on swing ideas and long-term ideas that I think are on their own page, that are not going to be affected so much by the market, such as stocks that are transitioning, or stocks that have maybe recently had a major gap down, that maybe the stock bottomed, right? So that's what I'm going to be focusing on until I have a better idea where where the market is going in the coming days, weeks, maybe months. Obviously, we have a line in the sand now as far as the bearish bias is concerned. We simply cannot break 161.95. If we do, then I would say that we will have one lower high, a second lower high, and at least one lower low. So that will be like the beginning of a downtrend. Okay. Is this going to be recorded and emailed? Yes, it is. It is being recorded and will be sent out, I think, tonight or tomorrow. All right. There are a lot of participants, so it's kind of hard for me to keep up with the questions, but I'll do my best. Every couple of minutes, I'll look at the questions, and if I see something that hasn't been answered, then I'll be sure to answer it. As far as open positions, we have the RYAM from back here somewhere from that day, and closed half at 2050 and still have the back half. So this is a long-term trade, and looking to hold it. Raise the stop. Look at that beautiful weekly buy setup. We've already raised the stop to 1939. So we'll just let it play out. Already took half, so we'll let it play out. EXTR was just shy of the target at, I think, what was the target on this? RYAM was $11, which was reached, but then the target 2 was 1040, and that was never reached. So almost, but not quite. The stop is down to 1208. So we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, the last couple of days, the market rallied a lot. The same with the Wells Fargo. Honestly, Wells Fargo stuck. If you stuck with target 1, it already reached it. And target 2 was $56. So we almost were there. But didn't get there. Show the symbol in my chart. Here it is, WFC. You see it at the top? So it's right there on the chart. Okay, Wells Fargo. All right, GNC, we killed half, the back half. We're sticking with the original stop, 404. Can actually add to it, over 463. That's not a bad idea. The hourly chart is not quite ready. I mean, it doesn't look good to add to it. So I'm not going to be adding to the GNC. The next one is the CVEO, and the CVEO triggered by just like a couple pennies, exactly by 2 pennies. And I am going to add to it tomorrow over 85 and bring the stop up from 11 to 53. So I'll make a post on the CVEO tonight in the spreadsheet. I will be adding to it tomorrow. This is a long-term trade. I can't keep up with the questions, so let's see. So please say if positions were long or short. Okay. Okay. CVEO is obviously long over the highs. Anything green on the green watch list is going to be a long watch, and anything on the bearish on the red watch list is going to be a short watch. Okay. Anything on the bullish watch list, on the green watch list, is going to be long. On the red, going to be short. And then the last symbol that I'm in long is the NTRI. NTRI had a pretty big gap down that got bought on big volume and had a breakout on Friday, but so far no follow through. Stop is under 30, so still far away. We'll see. Needs to take out 32.20. In fact, can add to it over 32.20 and bring the stop up to 30.50. Okay. But let's see. Did we lose sound? Okay. All right. So try logging out and logging back in. Let's go ahead and take a look at the watch list for tomorrow. I couldn't find anything good bearish. I really couldn't find much that I liked to the downside. I would say AFH is a 1, 2, 3. I want to see if we can. I want to see if we can have. If we can come up with the favorites. So the favorite watches, I'm going to put at the bottom. Okay, the favorite watches, I'll put on the bottom. So AFH as a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 setups, 1, 2, 3 setups typically need the declining 20 on the hourly chart. So I use the 20 MA, the 60-minute time frame to enter into my positions and the daily time frame to find the patterns. This is what's known as a bearish 1, 2, 3 if we break under the second bar's low. In this case, they're pretty close to each other. I would say under 1060 with a stop over 1150, today's high. But away from the 20 MA, not going to make it to my favorites. BLDP, nice looking sell setup on the hourly chart. It's a small stock. Let's see, and it's already at the rising 20 on the monthly chart, so not the best idea that I have short, but nice hourly chart. DXCM is more of a long-term watch, and I put it on the list so I can remember to create an alert. The alert should go around 53.30. If it breaks under the double bottom on the daily chart, that weekly sell setup / breakdown should have follow through. So I'm going to create an alert for the DXCM at around 53.20. 53.20 for the DXCM as a short. Looks great as a long-term play. IPGP is also kind of a long-term-ish play. Climactic sell setup on the monthly. So I like it short. It really triggered today under 235.01. Let's take a look at it one more time. Tough setup on the daily chart, especially since it's right at the rising 20 on the weekly time frame. But it's an interesting idea as a short. I'll wait for a secondary sign of weakness. I'll let it go higher and then maybe lower. But this is also a long-term type of a trade. Not really a swing, but more of a core or a position trade. Target on this would be 160. Now, it won't fall apart unless the market tops out a little bit or slows down a little bit, right? So this likely will not just fall apart. We had a nice weekly sell setup a while ago on the IPGP, and it was just so beautiful. Totally worked. It dropped $40. Well, 50 from the highs, but from the entry, $40 from the entry. Beautiful. So we retested, took out the highs, and are now trying to put in a lower high. So I like it a lot, but hopefully we get a secondary entry tomorrow. Massey looks good on the weekly chart. Look at this weekly time frame. Up a lot and certainly topped out. Tried to go higher right here, got slammed, and is now basing under the moving average. So I do like the MASI short a lot under the base. Now, if we wait for the base to break, which it would be around $80, I think that would be too late of an entry. Tomorrow might be the day to get into this one under 82.15. So MASI makes it to my favorites watch list for tomorrow. Okay, MASI under around 82.15. I'll post the entry tonight. PAC B triggered already. Looks lower on every time frame, monthly, weekly, just power trends, and daily. Looks good, but already triggered. And WSR is kind of a 1, 2, 3 also on the WSR, just like the AFH. I would say the favorite two are the MASI and the IPGP for tomorrow. Okay. As far as the bullish watches, we have ADP trying to transition back up. Notice the stock was in an uptrend, pulled back, gapped up, and in the moving average, this is the 20-period moving average, starting to curl. So it certainly looks higher. My concern about the AAP as a long would be that it's far away from the 20. Remember, the correct entry is almost always when you're playing with the trend, and in this case, the trend is up. When you're playing with the trend, the entry needs to be right at the 20 MA or right by the 20 MA. This is a bit far, so for that reason, I am going to take it off my watches for tomorrow. I'll still track it in a spreadsheet, so we'll see if it looks better on Friday. It does have a very, very nice breakout over the base on the hourly chart, but again, the issue is the extension on the daily chart away from the 20. The weekly has a buy setup, so it's okay, but I'm going to pass. ABX is a climactic buy setup and a transition A on the hourly chart. So over the base, stop under the base technically speaking, but that would be too tight of a stop for me. So entry over the base and can give it all the way down to the lows and then add and reduce as needed, right? If it starts to trend up. Not a bad idea. Again, over the base, stop under it, but that would be a really tight stop. So I would either undersize it, play with half an hour, or give it the wide stop and look to add and reduce later. AMC transitioning on the daily chart, transitioned already and has a breakout now right into the 200 MA, but kind of a pretty breakout. Couple of wide range red bars only to be met by a wide range green bar and now a doji bar at the top. So over the base, I would say I would put the stop under 1450. So the entry would be over 16 by 1450. Looking at the weekly time frame now, that's 1640. Looks okay. I would say it looks decent, but I'm going to be very picky until the market gives us a better idea where it's headed to. So AMC, we'll keep it on the watch list, but it's not going to make it to my favorites. APPS is just a daily buy setup, plain and simple. An uptrend and a pullback to the rising 20. The entry for this would be over the topping tail, 234. Stop under the base. That's not bad. This is just a standard play, and in a stock that's in a really strong uptrend on every time frame. That's the weekly. Here's the monthly. That's okay long over 234. Stop 220. I'm thinking about it as I'm speaking here because it kind of looks good. So I'm going to put it on the favorites list. I'm going to track the favorites in an Excel spreadsheet, and then I'll show it to you later on towards the end, because there's going to be a lot of watches, so I don't want to keep scrolling down to the bottom of the list. I'll just track it in an Excel spreadsheet for now, and we'll show you the favorites later. AVP, daily buy setup. There are some retailers that haven't yet bounced much. This is one of them. Okay, AVP looks higher to the prior highs, a little extended and a little sloppy. We have a minor pivot there, and we have topping tails there. So I am going to go ahead and get rid of it for tomorrow. BlackBerry is something I've been watching because it has a beautiful weekly buy setup. 20 MA hasn't curled, hasn't turned up yet, but my concern is that it will trigger without curling, without seeing the moving average flatten out and start pointing up. The entry for this would be over the base, stop under it. I'm going to pass for now, but this is one of my favorite long-term watches. Okay, this is one of my favorite long-term watches. Okay, question, are these very low price stocks, an average daily volume? As you can see, they're different prices. Whatever they are, I don't care very much about the price. I do care about the volume, and I want it to be more than 500,000 shares, preferably over 1 million shares a day. But the price range doesn't matter to me. Okay, the price range does not matter. BlackBerry does 10 million shares a day. No, this did 3 million shares a day. So, all right. So I don't think this is ready for tomorrow, and for that reason, I'm going to take it off my watch list. BKI, another weekly buy setup, right? That's not bad. The entry for this would be over the base, exactly the same issue as the BlackBerry. Notice how the 20 MA hasn't yet curled and started pointing up. That's the same exact issue as the BlackBerry. If the 20 MA is not yet in the correct position or has the correct angle and direction, what one can do is still enter over the base and give it the big stop, let's say down here or all the way down here, and then later on add and reduce. So the same with the BlackBerry, can enter here over the pivot, which would be 1267, and use this as a stop, right? Don't think this will get stopped out, but I do prefer to enter only if the daily gives me the green light, and I don't think on the, especially the BlackBerry, I don't think I have the green light there. And then on this one, again, the 20 MA just hasn't curled yet, so it's tough. So I'm going to take it off the list for tomorrow. CATO, transitioning on the daily chart. Notice how it was in a downtrend, and then it broke the trend by going above the moving average, retraced 100% of the prior base or pivot, and put in a higher low. So now has a 1, 2, 3. Not too bad. Not too bad as a long CRTO. Over the base, stop under today's low. I'll keep it on the list. CATO. Is it thin? Yeah, this is a little thin. CLDT is a climactic buy setup. Not a very good climactic because it gapped down a few days ago, but interesting hourly base. Tried to break down and has a transition A breakout on the hourly chart. So it looks okay. Some of the terms that I'm using or concepts might be foreign to you. These are all taught in the Nightly Game Plan seminar, which I did when I first started this whole program about a year ago, not quite a year ago. And that was recorded. It's a 200-page manual that lists and details my strategies and all the terminology. Once you read that, once you go over it and listen to the recording, watch the recording, would make sense instantly. But again, some of it might not make sense to you, especially if you're not familiar with the pristine method, which is the method that I use for trading. So this is again a transition A breakout over the base here. CLNS is a big gap down, exactly like the NTRI, right? Big gap down and base at the top. These often work, especially when it's coming after several months worth of selling. So CLNS is going to be a play for me over the base, stop under it. So it's going to be a play tomorrow over 615 by 565 long. So this goes to the favorites, and I'll post the play tonight on the spreadsheet, in our shared spreadsheet. Con, you can see the moving average is curling, starting to point up. This is probably a weekly buy setup. It is, right off the 20 MA and a strong uptrend. I mean, that's a really strong uptrend. Notice the pro igniting volume, the wide range igniting bar, and we don't have any wide range bars at the top, or even wide range volume bar, which means it's not done yet. Likely is not done yet. A con is typically too wild for me, at least for day trading it is, and it's a little thin. The entry would be over the base, stop under the shakeout bar, the bottoming tail bar. So I'm going to pass for now, but looks okay, long. All right, con. CRTO was a nice short here as a swing play, covered it, and gapped up, and now it's trying to do a buy setup. CRTO. Away from the 20, but in this case, it's not that bad because it was a gap. So it's okay for it to be a little extended. What I don't like about it is we didn't get a 45-degree pullback to the rising 20. We are just kind of grinding lower. Again, interesting as a long. The entry should be around over 30, 34, but I'm going to pass for now. And CVEO, I already have a position in it. I'm looking to add to it over 385, CVEO, tomorrow. So this makes it to my favorites. DS is a weekly buy setup. Let's check the weekly chart. Looks good, looks okay. Rallied a lot from like 250 to 650. And now has a weekly buy setup. Nice couple of bottoming tails. Let's take a look at the daily chart. Entry for this would be over 535. Stop under 495. Extremely thin. So this, if I do it, I'll do it on my own. I'm still happy to go over it, but typically I don't call anything that's this thin. It did less than 200,000 shares a day. Today did less than 200,000 shares. But very, very nice weekly buy setup. EPZM is a daily buy setup. It certainly needs to clear the topping tails before it's good. So entry for this would be over 1825. Stop under 1710. Not bad. I think is okay. On the EPZM, let's take a look. Yeah, the hourly chart doesn't look ready. Moving average is totally flat, so don't really like it that much. EPZM. In fact, I'm going to take it off my list for tomorrow. I'll still have it in my spreadsheet, but not for tomorrow. Okay, let's see. Questions. Hey Dan, please log out, and well, you can't hear me, so let me just respond to that. We are going to be back to the normal, the VTF room where we normally do the nightly game plan, but just today is a temporary thing, a temporary fix. All right. Question on BB: if you use the 60-minute to enter, why isn't it already good? It's sitting at the 20 MA. Okay. Let's take a look at the BB. Back to the BB quickly. Well, on the hourly chart, my biggest problem is not so much the hourly, it's more the daily. See how the daily 20 MA hasn't yet turned up, so I like it to turn up. But on the hourly chart also, even though there is a small, slightly rising 20, it's just starting, there's no base or a buy setup, a pullback basically. So I don't see a good entry on the BB. Honestly, the only entry that I would use would be up here over the whole thing. Stop right under the lows there. So the entry for this would be over 1267. Stop under 1176. Big stop, but a big stop is typically needed when the play isn't quite lined up, isn't quite set up right. All right, so I'm going to pass on it for tomorrow, as I said. FNGN is a daily buy setup. Looks okay. It pulled back a lot after the gap up. It retraced more than 100% of that green bar. We have kind of a money bar right here, or a shakeout bar right here today. That's a shakeout. And a buy setup on the daily chart, a nice 20 MA here on the hourly chart. So it's okay. I'll keep it on the list, but I am not looking to do it tomorrow. Fossil has a daily buy setup. The first one shouldn't have been played because it came after a mega gap up, and this would be the second one. The second buy setup has a wide what do you call it? A rounding bottom on the hourly chart. So the entry would be over the base here, over 15. Big stop. It's going to be a big stop. There's the fossil. There's also the EXPR. I think both look, from the retailers, look higher, but don't like it enough. I'm going to pass for now on fossil. Fred, transition A on the daily chart. So in a downtrend, severe downtrend, and for the first time perhaps, put in a higher low here, put in a higher high, and is trying to transition. Let's see how extended it is on the weekly, and believe it or not, it is not that extended. See that bearish downtrend not far from the 20? So not very extended. Over the base, stop under it. I am not going to be playing tomorrow, Fred, but it's interesting. It's interesting. What about the RAD? I just wanted to see what the RAD. No, not R. Wasn't RAD going to merge with it? Yeah, Fred, I'm going to pass. GALT is a weekly buy setup. Looks good. Looks good. Let me go back to the daily on the GALT. And the entry for this would be over 469. Stop under 391. Extremely thin. So that would be too thin even for me by myself, but I like it a lot. Okay, I do like it a lot. GALT. The GEN is a daily buy setup, triggered already today. So I don't think I'll be getting in it tomorrow after such a big green bar. After a big green bar, I always wait at least one day. Weekly time frame on the GEN looks beautiful, higher, to retest at least the prior highs, which would be up here. So GEN higher, but printed a big green bar. So I'm going to take it off my daily watches for tomorrow. Question: what is the importance of having nice price extension on the weekly chart? Good, excellent question. Let me go ahead and show you. So transition A plays. So when the stock, this is what's known as a transition A. It's a breakout, and the first breakout on in a newly established uptrend. Okay, where is the target for this? The target for this type of a play, for this type of a setup, is the declining 20 on the weekly chart. So if it's not extended on the weekly, then you don't have much of a target. The best transition A plays are the ones that go a little climactic or get really extended, because when you play them long here, the target could be very far away on the weekly. So in this case, where's the target? Right here. Yeah, you can see ever since it went into a downtrend, has it ever broken above the 20 MA? Has it ever? broken up the 20 MA. No, it hasn't. So you cannot not take this as target. You cannot not consider this as target. And if that's target, that looks like a small move. It's not going to be a big target. So that is why when I look for transition A plays, such as the Fred, I want to see that they're far away on the weekly time frame, also far away from the 20 MA. They're extended on the weekly. Got it? Excellent question there, Eva. How did I originally populate the watch list? So I scan using a program called TC2000, and I come up with my watch list. I don't have enough time to scan every day on using TC2000, but so what I do is I create a watch list for the whole week, and I put it in a spreadsheet. So on the weekend, I scan several thousand charts, manually scan several thousand charts. Out of these several thousand charts, a few hundred of them will be interesting. Most of them, the vast majority, will not be good enough to play the next day, right? So what I do is I put them in a spreadsheet, and I keep going through. I keep going over them every day after the close until I find and come up with my daily watch list, which should be about a few bullish ideas, a few bearish ideas, and then the ones that, let's say, triggered and went, then I discard them. The ones that failed, then I discard. And then at the end of the week, I replenish my watch list. I scan again my entire stock universe, basically every US common stock trading over $1 in price, doing over 500,000 shares in volume. And I scan it on the daily and the weekly time frame. At the end of the month, which we are now, we're at the beginning of March, I also scanned the monthly chart. So this weekend, I scanned over 5,000 charts. Over 5,000 charts. It takes a whole day to do, but it's once a week, and I can live off of it the whole week, right? And I don't scan 5,000 charts every week because I just do that. It is especially a long process when it's at the end of the month, because I scan monthly charts also. Okay, so that's how I do it. I do have access to scanners that can find the setups that I look for typically, but I find manual scanning way better than automated scanning, because with automated scanning, it might find you one or two okay plays, and then it'll miss everything else. And most of the time, you'll just waste more time going through the list that the scanner spits out than by scanning manually. It's also a great exercise for your eyes, great training for your eyes, when you can go through lots of charts. And I can go through probably 3 charts per second in TC2000. Okay, so that's what I do, and I've done it for over 10 years now, this way. All right. So hopefully that answers your question. I'm trying to answer every question here. Trying to answer every question. All right, we talked about the GALT, and I said I really, really like it, but too thin. We're gonna look at the GNRT. GNRT is same exact pattern. It's got to be a weekly buy setup. Let's take a look. I mean, that's a weekly buy setup, far away from the moving average. So that's where I like to put my stop, on the other side of the 20 MA, not above. In this case, the entry would be here, stop would be under the pivot, but the same issue as the GALT, extremely thin. I don't mind playing sometimes thin stocks, but I will not call them for the nightly game plan program, because we have over 150 members or so. So those two look decent, the GALT and the GNRT. But if you do play, you play on your own. All right, continuing on. Icon as again, transition A. So in a severe downtrend, breaks the downtrend, and a pullback now. The pullback is pretty deep, puts it under the 20 MA. So that's the issue. Entry would be up here. So the entry would be over $1.48, stop under $1.30. Taking a look here. It's interesting because it's if it just goes back up to the prior highs, it'll be a really nice play. If it just goes back up to the prior highs, not extended on the weekly, but the weekly 20 MA, the angle is very, very steep, so it can break above it, I'm thinking. Let's take a look at the monthly, and the monthly is climactic. I mean, this stock is in serious trouble, obviously, but interesting, kind of interesting as a long. Over the base, over 148, stop 130. 148 by 130. Liquid enough to do. I'm just thinking about it. I'm going to put it on the favorites. I will not be making a call on this, but I'll put it on the favorites. Okay, when you say the entry, do you mean the buy at? Yes, the buy at. Icon earnings is on the 7th, March 7th. So that kind of, then I'll be staying away from it. Earnings is on the 7th. Thanks, David. Let's see. Let's continue. ICPT. ICPT may have bottomed. It looks to me like it that it bottomed. It looks like it bottomed. ICPT. Look at this. Breakdown to new lows, and the breakdown was rejected and now looks higher. So I like the ICPT a lot. It does have problems. No rising 20, and we have resistance above. Otherwise, it has a 1, 2, 3. So this is more of a long-term watch that I just wanted to bring to your attention, not really a swing play for tomorrow. This can go on the core watch list. Is okay to go on the core watch list as a long-term play, but not for tomorrow. IDXG is another transition A play. It's a $1 stock though. IDXG. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, weekly would need to fail on the sell setup, so the entry would have to be over 110. And then the monthly, yeah, I'm not sure. I saw a few small stocks today that did very well, that some of which were on my daily watch list, like the NXTD. Look at the NXTD. What a beauty. Was on today's watch list. I don't remember the other ones. So there were a couple of small stocks like this that did well. I'm going to pass for now. So I'm going to take it off my watch list. IPGP was a bearish watch, so got that mixed up. LOPE, LOPE, is a daily buy setup. Let's take a look. Looks okay. Long. And then the entry would be over 98.81. Stop under 96.37. It's just a daily buy setup. Nothing much to it. Not bad. Not bad. I like to do the unique plays, the ones that are really special. But honestly, this is not bad. Long. Over 98.81. Notice how it triggered by 1 penny. I like to give them 2 pennies typically. Not always. Sometimes I don't give them 2 cents. But when it's a $98 stock, oh, you bet I'm going to give it more than 1 penny. Because you get tagged by a penny there, and then it fails. So again, when it's a $100 stock, I give it 5 cents maybe, but not 1 penny. But it looks higher. Looks good for tomorrow. LZB, I don't know how the Lazy Boy makes money, honestly. I've never seen a store that had anybody in it, almost. And yet, if you look at their chart, it's amazing, huh? Look at their chart. Oh yeah, they're making money. Look at this. 50 cents, 53. It's at 30. After in early 2009, when we bottomed. Daily buy setup. Let's take a look at the weekly time frame. It's all right. Not sure. I'm gonna pass on the LZB. MAXR. is a climactic buy setup. It triggered already today. Looks okay. I'll keep it on the watch list, but honestly, it triggered already today. MDXG triggered on Friday, and looks higher over the base. I got some on Friday at the mentorship. I was doing the mentorship, and a couple of us got it, myself included. So it looks higher to there, to like $9 or so. Question: what's a 1, 2, 3 pattern? Unfortunately, today I don't have a drawing tool that I can use, or a good one, I should say. A 1, 2, 3 is when you have a stock that breaks out over resistance and gives you the breakout bar, and then an inside bar, and then so that's the resting, typically narrow range bar, and then the third bar, a continuation bar that takes out the prior highs, goes above everything. So that's a 1, 2, 3 setup. Okay, I can show it better I can draw it better on Wednesday. All right, but it's hard to use Realtek's own built-in tool. I think the PSTG was a 1, 2, 3 play. We did it as a swing play in the nightly game plan. It wasn't. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's the same concept. So a breakout and a base, and then a secondary breakout. Also, I remember CYH, we did swing in this program, and it was the same. It wasn't exactly 1, 2, 3, but just like the PSTG, the breakout bar, and then a few bars, and then another breakout, and that was the target. That was the target. At 75 was the target, I think. It reached 96. So I don't know which one was a 1, 2, 3. Oh, the ICPT, right? So here's 1, 2, and then tomorrow, if we take out the highs, it would be considered 3. 1, 2, 3. I like that pattern a lot when it's in an uptrend, not when it's transitioning, because when it's transitioning, you play the breakout and then you have resistance right above. In this case, it's not right above. It does have about $5 move maybe before it gets to the target, but my preference is always for the 1, 2, 3 pattern is when it comes in an uptrend. See this? That's an all-out uptrend. It's a continuation pattern anyway. The transition on the ICPT, that's a reversal pattern, not a continuation pattern. So I prefer to play the 1, 2, 3 pattern in the same direction as the trend. MIC, this one is more of a wild card play. A huge gap down a couple of weeks ago, and it's maybe double bottoming. So the entry for this would be over today's high. Stop under the lows. Stop here, entry there. I'm going to go ahead and take it off the list. Don't like it enough to keep. All right. Mobile is a long-term play, and I like a lot weekly. And here's the monthly. I mean, this looks good. Higher to about $6 or so. Looks good. Daily buy setup is hard to kind of pinpoint the exact entry. Really, the entry is over 495. Stop is under 465. It's part of the pilot program also, so it has 5-cent spread. It's going to have 5-cent spread. So that's the issue with the mobile. Next on the list is MSTI. This one was one of the kind of the nicest longs that we had recently that trailed out. We played it long right here, trailed out under 21.44, I believe. Yeah, 21.44. Maybe a higher low. And let's take a look at the weekly chart. Very, very extended. That's kind of ideal when you're playing a daily trend that's just starting to point up, starting to move up. It's ideal to have a very extended weekly chart like this. Unfortunately, it trailed, but again, possible re-entry over the base, stop under it. So right here, stop under it. Not going to be doing it, so I'm going to take it off my list. What I do after the close is I quickly scan the items on my spreadsheet so I can generate a watch list for the next day. So sometimes I just throw a lot of symbols on my list, and then when I go over it, I can weed out the ones that are less than ideal, like I'm doing right now. This is really what we do in the nightly game plan on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, so that's what I'm just doing today. MYSZ, another small stock that looks higher. Let's take a look at the weekly. Wow, buy setup on the weekly chart. Monthly is not great, but interesting. I'll keep it on the list. Just remember this today. NXTD, right? So MYSZ might follow suit tomorrow. It looks similar. I want to point out that energy stocks look higher, right? I've said that many times. We've played a bunch of them, and I would like to get back into some energy stocks long. Look at the NBR on the weekly chart. That's phenomenal. A transitionary buy setup. Look at this, in a downtrend all year last year. Ended the downtrend and the first pullback to the newly rising 20 MA. That's not bad. I like it a lot. NBR, what's the issue? It doesn't have an entry on the daily time frame. It's already printed 3 green bars in a row. So I'm hoping to get a red bar here and to play this long with you guys. It really already triggered. 703 was the trigger on the next entry. I'm hoping to play it long on the next entry. There are some other ones like NE, I think, is exact same pattern, but NBR is better, much better. The NE hasn't triggered yet, is what's good about it. Over 446. Again, as a core play, not as a swing trade, as a long-term play. But 2 green bars in a row. So I'm going to just wait a little bit here. CHK triggered yesterday or Friday. CHK is a different story. I mean, the daily is not transitioning at all. It's still under the declining 20. Not very good. Not good enough, let's say. CHK, but just had almost a tier 1 gap up a couple weeks ago. Had a phenomenal gap up. My favorite is the NBR. Also the PES, which we played way back here as a transition A. Played it and it went, I mean, it was phenomenal. It was great. Now has a weekly buy setup. So look at that, guys. Check that out. PES. Like a lot. But why is it? It's not even on my list for tomorrow. Why? Because look at the moving average on the daily, pointing down. So I want to see it go higher and then do the next buy setup. Okay? So I like the NBR, I like the NE, and I like the PES from the oil sector higher. The PES we played, it doubled, right? It almost doubled, I think, from 220. I mean, it doubled, almost, yeah, it doubled. Really just shy of 100% gain here. So I would like to get back in it. NBR is my favorite, but is not quite ready. So the NBR, NE, and PES should go on the core watch list. NKTR, it's got to be the strongest stock in the world. Look at this. Unbelievable. Once it broke out above 25, it's at 100. Up 400% in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Just phenomenal. 1, 2, 3. It looks great. Should work tomorrow. That's a 1, 2, 3 pattern with the trend. Like it a lot. But what's the issue? NKTR is also has got to be one of the wildest stocks out there. Like super wild. So that's my biggest issue. Otherwise looks higher. Looks higher. And it's a biotech, so you got to be careful. Over 105.75 by 150. So it's a big stop, $5 stop, $5.25. Big stop. NKTR. Question, when you say long term, what's my time frame? I'm thinking weekly, monthly, right? But I always wait for multiple time frame alignment. So on the NBR, for example, that's a weekly buy setup, transition A buy setup on the weekly chart. A monthly is not bad either. It could go to 10 easily, but it's a weekly play. SQ, I don't have any, I'm not interested in the SQ, long or short at the moment. I was in it short here, but it trailed here, and then it trailed at the beginning of the year. It trailed, and now breaking out to, I think, all-time highs or the prior highs. I saw it this afternoon. Yeah, it broke out to all-time highs. I don't have any interest in it. I think this is only a matter of time before it falls apart. SQ. It's just gonna wait for the market. You'll see. You'll see on the SQ. The same with a bunch of other ones, like IPGP, ALGN. I mean, ALGN and IPGP, I think, already cracked. Okay, CAT, but it's already fallen. Already started falling. BA. Those CLIMOs. If the market tops out anytime soon, they will collapse. In SQ, PayPal, right? And again, PayPal also, I think, cracked. But they won't fall easily, at least, until the market does. Most of the time, they will just not go until the market tops out. All right. Whereas I'm not saying the same thing about the NKTR. NKTR might be up more than the other ones that I showed you, but that's not climactic. See, the wide range bar came at the beginning, and we have small bars at the top. Here, it's the opposite. Small bars at the beginning, but that doesn't matter. At the top, we're getting the biggest bars, biggest volume here. Now, yes, granted, it recovered and is going back up, and it might even go a lot more. But this sort of a trend is typically not sustainable. I'm on logarithmic charts. When I look at long-term time frames, I'm on logarithmic. So if I were to go to arithmetic, which is probably what most of you are on, look at this. It's gonna look a lot more climactic. See it? Now it's more climactic. Same with the BA. The same with ALGN. Same with CAT. Same with IBKR. So those CLIMOs are pretty good. XNet I missed out on. This was an excellent climactic, but that was the entry. It was actually hard to borrow, so I had to do it. I couldn't have entered it in my intraday account. But that's the best when it's a blow-off top like this. When it's a blow-off top, there is no recovery. It never ever recovers, with the exception being, I don't know, 1 in 100, like HMNY, right? Look at it. Look at this. When they do this, when they go vertical like this, from 10 to whatever to 40, they don't recover. There's no recovery, ever. So the other ones aren't as bad, but they're still pretty climactic. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Okay. Question, why logarithmic versus arithmetic? Because arithmetic doesn't... It's hard to explain, especially when I don't have a drawing tool, but when the stock moves from, like HMNY, when it moves from $4, let's say, dollars to $8, that would be 100% move, right? 100% gain. Well, if it continues higher and it moves from 8 to another $4 move to 12, that would only be a 50% move. Yet on arithmetic time frame, it will show on the chart the same percentage gain. So from 8, take a look, from 8 to 12 is the same distance-wise. Like, it's like, let's say on the chart, it's about an inch as from 4 to 8. So that's the thing. So logarithmic is better for long-term charts. For intraday, it's okay to stick with arithmetic, but for long-term, you want to really use logarithmic. It smooths out the trend, and it's the correct scaling to use for long-term. Okay, finishing up here, OTIV is a transition on the daily chart. transition A, another small stock. I don't really like playing the small stocks. Sometimes the small stocks go through periods where they're on fire, and sometimes, you know, they're slow. And right now isn't the time, I don't think, at least, when they're catching fire at all. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off the list. Oops, I took something else off the list. Let me see what it was. So OTIV is what I meant to take off the list. 1 second, please. I took the PBYI off the list, and PBYI is honestly not a swing trade. We were looking at it as a swing trade right here, but it wouldn't trigger. And now I like it a lot as a long. Look at the monthly, guys. Look at that beautiful monthly buy setup. So I like it a lot, but not for right now. We need a pullback. It already got bought big time the last 2 days. PDCO is another big gap down and maybe higher over the base, but I'm not going to play it. What I am going to play is the CLNS. That's the one that I'm going to play. Over the base, stop under it. This one made $5,000 just last week. And I was with the mentorship students, so they saw that live as a day trade. It was phenomenal. And I'm going to play it as a swing also if it sets up. This one, not as good, I think, so I'm going to take it off. QTS is not bad. It's just that I missed the entry on Friday there over that green bar's high. This is what I call an exhaustion gap play. It does have a 1, 2, 3 now. 1, 2, and tomorrow if it triggers would be 1, 2, 3, but we have resistance also above, so I don't think so on the QTS. Quad is a daily buy setup. The biggest issue with the quad is the 20 MA on the hourly chart. Notice how it's below it. So on something like quad, I would want to see it pop here, and then I'll do the next buy setup. But looks beautiful, really, really beautiful. We just need to see it pop and then do the buy setup. RCON, another small stock. Wow. RCON over the base. This one looks okay, but very, very thin also. Check the monthly. Monthly is good on the RECN. I don't generally play these at all. I mean, the last time I played a $1 stock, I don't know when it was. Maybe a year ago, maybe 6 months ago. But today they're showing up a lot on my watch list here for some reason. So nice daily and monthly. Weekly is okay, but the daily and the monthly look the best. Okay. The Shield. Shield is transitioning. I know Shield is like, we all think it's going to go bankrupt, and I think so too. But in the meantime, you can make money off of it, maybe over the base. Looks interesting. Again, as a transition A, it's really beautiful. The only thing that's not good about it, the only thing that's not beautiful about it is the wide base, the wide stop. And then the other thing is there's that topping tail. So if you wait for it to clear, it'll be a really, really big stop. And if you don't wait for it to clear and you just put the entry, the order over, let's say 275, 276, it'll be right into that topping tail. So that's the biggest issue. I like it when the base, see how this transition A, that's a beautiful, beautiful chart. But I like it when the base is very tight. Then it's really good. So that's the issue. SPLK is a 1, 2, 3. It's exactly like the NKTR. It might be even better than the NKTR because the NKTR is just in a extended uptrend. This isn't. This just broke out on Friday and has a 1, 2, 3. Looks beautiful. SPLK to the favorites. The 1, 2, 3 is not my favorite pattern, but it's it's one of the best, I think, because it gives you the chance to jump on board a stock that you basically missed out on, because the entry for this should have been back here, and it gives you a tight stop. But it can easily, the downside to the 1, 2, 3 pattern is that it can easily fail because you're putting your stop under just one bar rather than under the pivot, under the moving average. So that's the biggest downside to it. So you have to be, I feel I have to be really sure before I play a 1, 2, 3 pattern. Okay, SYNT, another 1, 2, 3 plus a base breakout. So this looks good. SYNT, long over the base, stop under the base. In this case, not because it's a 1, 2, 3, but because there's a base is what I like it, why I like it more. And the stock, it's easy for a stock to break under a prior bar's low, but it's not as easy to break under an entire base. So I kind of like it. Let's check the weekly, make sure the weekly is okay. Weekly is good. And monthly is okay. So SYNT might be a play for tomorrow. TBB, transition A, right? That's beautiful. Over the base, stop under it, check the weekly. It looks like a relatively new stock, or just about a year old or so. So it doesn't have a trend going on the monthly chart. No, it's only about 4 months old. Entry, the same with the shield, the same as the shield. The entry would be up here, still into resistance, and it's a wide base, not a tight base. Right here, long, stop under 24.98. Same exact problem as the shield. A TCAP 1, 2, 3. Long over $11, stop under 11. Over 1180, stop under 1140 or so. TCAP, TMST, steel stocks look okay higher. This is transitioning higher. Let's check the weekly chart. It's all right. I think that the TMST and the RS, or is it RES? Yeah, RS. Those are the best two steel stocks at the moment. I think AKS isn't bad either. And then X is too far gone. X is way up there. So TMST, RES, and AKS, one of these three. I would play only one, not all three. And at the moment, I think I like the TMST the most. All right. TOO is a shipper. Shippers don't typically work, but has a nice transition A also after a professional gap up. Has a pullback on the hourly chart, so it's not too bad. But the shippers, they just haven't rallied in years, almost. So that's the issue. VKTV is just a pure uptrend and a buy setup. Incredible uptrend right here. And then VRA is a weekly buy setup. Beautiful weekly buy setup. Just phenomenal. Issue is stop is going to be wide. Entry up here, and it would still be inside of that topping tail bar. So the entry would be over 1042, stop under 979. Right here, stop there. Not bad. It's going to go on the favorites, but I don't think I'll be entering tomorrow. Okay, so let's see. What else? Do we have anything else? Let me know. Other questions, icon weekly chart. What do you mean by the declining 8 is steep? The declining 20 is steep. When the declining 20 is very, very steep, it can, oh no, not icon. I don't remember which one it was. When it's overly steep, it can break it. When it's just 45 degree on the weekly, I guess, on the weekly. When it's 45 degree, it'll have a hard time breaking it. Okay, it'll have a hard time breaking it. Let's take a look at the CBIO as a long. It's gone. Next buy setup maybe, and then weekly. I'll take a look. Yeah, weekly looks good. ANTH, thanks, Dory. ANTH is also gone. This one was on my list. Is on my list, but it's just I wasn't able to figure out a way in it. And then IPI is good, but I'm waiting for the next buy setup. I'll take a look at the ADVM. Yeah, ADVM looks higher too. Agreed, looks higher. All right, what else? You're in BA long. Would I be getting out BA? If I was in it, I would get out under 335, 335.30. But it also depends what you're trying to do. But yeah, I would most definitely, personally, get out under 335.30 if I was in BA long. Now, if you say that's $20, well, that's the tightest you can manage it. That would be like the tightest, in my opinion, on BA. AMBA long, I'll take a look. Maybe. I mean, AMBA was a call in the black room on Friday as a long. and it got right to the target, and 60 cents more, I think. Yep, target was 52. But as a long, I don't see it as a long. I mean, I don't even know where the entry and the stop go, right? The entry would be up here, stop would be like down here. It'd be like $5. No thanks. Pan W is long. No, the correct entry needs to be at the 20 MA, not far above. And two big green bars, the stop needs to be under, so that's too big of a stop. All right. Let's see, is BABA a long? And no, BABA is not a long. Declining 20, it needs to be above a rising 20. So BABA is not a long. Thanks for the watch, Phil. And what else? Anything? AZO, can I check AZO? AZO is in a bad shape. It's just in a bad shape. I don't like it short though, because it's fallen a lot already from 800 to 650. But it's not a long at all. AZO is not a long. In fact, it topped out. I mean, looks like it topped out. Look at this chart. For the first time in how many years? It's breaking the 20 MA. Actually, for the first time in 17 years, the 20 MA is starting to point down. What does that tell you? It's not the time to be starting a long position in AZO. Looks lower long term. All the auto stocks look lower long term. All right. Is it okay to ask what the reward to risk ratio and percentage on the swing trades? We do have a spreadsheet that I can show you, HR. I appreciate you being so polite. That I can go over maybe on Wednesday, and I'll show you. I trade in 100 sample trades at a time, or in a sample size of 100 at a time, and then I log the data, and I look at the report. So we're at like number 60 maybe now or so out of 100, and then so we can look at the data, but and we can look at the last sample, which we completed at the end of last year, I think. And we're at 70 now. So I'll show you the spreadsheet maybe on Wednesday if you're back, and hopefully we won't have any issues, tech issues on Wednesday. We shouldn't. I'm telling you, today is the only day all year since I started the nightly game plan program that we cannot log into the room, our normal the room that we use regularly. All right. So first time ever. Sold MU today, should have held. Wow, MU phenomenal. I mean, if you had it and sold it today, take a bow. Really phenomenal. But you see this? Look, guys. Look at this. I mean, that's just, well, in this case, it didn't accelerate, but that's just an unbelievable move. 500% in 1.5 years. I mean, that's the market, right? The market is just on fire. It has been. And so, especially the semis, there's nothing. I mean, MU is one of the big semi players, and the semis have been just ripping. But they're not going to be, it's not going to be sustainable. I mean, if the market tops out, they will all fall the hardest. They will all fall the hardest. Maybe not the more well-established companies like Micron, but like SQ, oh yeah, it will fall really hard probably. So we'll see. We just, the most important thing is to be cognizant of what the market is doing, where it's at in terms of the staging, and also manage risk, so that you're not caught off guard. Like I'm talking, 401k accounts, IRA accounts. You cannot wait until the market falls apart to start getting out, right? You have to just manage risk and always be aware of what the market is doing. All right. Let's see. What else? Do I like APA? No, I don't like APA. It's in a downtrend. I'll check the weekly. Nope, don't like the APA. I showed you a few other oil stocks that are much, much better than the APA. And the best, in my opinion, at the moment is NBR. PES looks good also. We talked about NE. Those are kind of the top 3 oil. Honestly, the top oil is Legacy, but it's too late. LGCY. It's way too late. That's the top oil. That's by far the top. Okay? it's too late. It reminds me of what was it that we played that was just like the Legacy, but I don't remember the symbol now. What was EC? It reminds me of the EC. That's the EC, the breakout. And look at this. And look at the monthly, 1, 2, 3. I missed the initial move. I played it on the 1, 2, 3 long. So the Legacy is similar, not quite the same on the monthly, but very similar. There are other ones, but they're too thin to even mention here. ROYBT or ROYT. I didn't even put it on the list. See it? It's a 1, 2, 3. So I'm watching this long, but I'm not going to talk about it because it's too thin. All right, a couple of just last question or two because I gotta go. And Facebook, my view of Facebook, it depends. Short term, don't like it at all. Long term, even long term, I don't like it that much. See, it's weakening. Look at this. When was the last time it broke the 20 and based under it? A year ago, right? So it's tough. But what I like about the Facebook is the grind up. I mean, that's just a phenomenal chart. Phenomenal chart. If it drops, it won't drop that much. It shouldn't, at least, on Facebook. All right, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I apologize once again for the inconvenience the tech issue caused you and caused me. But we should be back to normal on Wednesday. Even my headset, my normal headset that I use, didn't work with GoToWebinar. So I had to kind of find a replacement headset. I hope the sound was okay. This is not really the headset that I usually use, but hopefully the sound was okay. If you have questions, just email customer service, or you can call them, obviously. And somebody can get on the phone with you, give you a free consultation, explain whatever needs to be explained, whatever questions you have. All right. So or you can also email me, obviously, or if you email them with questions for me, they'll forward them to me. But otherwise, I'll talk to you guys on Wednesday. Take care and talk to you then.